Hello, is anybody there? Checking live. So I just wanted to make an announcement. I'm working on editing the Super Bowl 50 review. A lot of people have been asking when it will be ready, and it should be ready tomorrow, Wednesday, January 10th, 2016. So I just wanted to give an update to let you know that it's live tomorrow. I'm editing it right now, going through all the footage. If you guys want to... Oh, wait, hold on. Ah, there. The chat is up. Hey, everybody. Now I can see the chat. I was confused. You did... They're coming in too fast. Hey, everybody. Hi, hello. Von Miller did come through. He had a huge game. He's getting the Big Dick Player Award, so spoiler alert, Von Miller will be BDPing it up in this next episode. I just rewatched the game. It was just a dominant defensive performance. We all saw that. There's so many of you tuning in right now. This is cool. So, since I've been working with Vic, his brother showed me this app, so now I can stream live stuff to the channel, and I think that's something I'm going to do more often, and we can chat on here, because I think it'd be cool to talk football, talk Broncos, especially this offseason. If you think this offseason is going to be quiet, you've got another thing coming. I'm trying to read your comments, but they're coming in so fast. It's making me feel very special right now. Yes, lots of fuck you Tom Brady's. I like how that's still a continuing theme, even though we just beat the Panthers. So, FYTB, it's all part of the Super Bowl, the path to the Super Bowl. I just said FYTB. What's my opinion on Russell Wilson? I didn't see the second part of that question, but I think Russell Wilson's a very good quarterback, and I'm glad we didn't have to play him in the Super Bowl because I think the Seahawks would have been more prepared for that game. The parade crowd today was insane. I should have went down there this morning, but I didn't get in until like 1:45 a.m. last night, and I had a ton of work to do today, so I chose to not go to the parade so I could work on the preview or the review video, and I missed an opportunity to ride on the bus with Vic in the parade, which would have been really cool. I got the game up. I just saw John Elway say this one's for Pat again. It's pretty cool. Not quite as powerful as when Pat did it, but still very appropriate. Sorry, I'm trying to read these questions. Too many, too quick. Give me a shout out, Brandon. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to remember. I didn't see what your screen name was. The Gooch prevailed. I did predict that Brandon McManus would have three Gooch shots during the game, and he did it. And that was really the key to winning. When I say he's going to get 3 Gooches, he's going to get 3 Gooches. I do think Manning will retire, but we don't know for sure. His dad said something interesting, saying he thinks he's done playing for the Denver Broncos, which leaves a little wiggle room in there if Manning wants to return for somebody else. I don't foresee him playing somewhere else. You win that last Super Bowl, it's time to go out on top, but he does have a $20 million contract, so I guess I would try to play for that kind of money, even if my body was falling apart. I like Brock and Roll. I'm live streaming to let you guys know that the video won't be ready till tomorrow. And it's cool. Why wouldn't I live stream? I do think Osweiler will stay. I'm not 100% sure. I wouldn't be surprised if John Elway makes a deal for a different quarterback, if there's one he really likes that he thinks he can get. I know he likes Osweiler, and I think Osweiler can do everything that this offense needs him to do. If his accuracy was a little better, he would be extremely dangerous, but maybe he can work on that in the offseason. And I'd be excited to have Brock back. I think the offense will be able to run every play Kubiak wants to run. I wouldn't be surprised if Ronnie Hillman is gone. He didn't do much in the Super Bowl. I think he had 5 rushes for 0 yards, and I'm not sure he's the best fit for this scheme. So maybe the Broncos bring in another running back. If they had a second guy like Jonathan Stewart or D'Angelo Williams, an older veteran, still got some air in the tires, that would be pretty cool. The guy who's Vic Lombardi. If you just ask, Vic Lombardi is a Denver sports anchor. He's the best Denver sports anchor, and he's the guy who got me to the Super Bowl, got me the passes so I could meet the Broncos and talk to them this week. Yes, the crowd booing Tom Brady, that was hilarious. He was the only Super Bowl MVP that got booed, so that was very entertaining to watch. I'll never get tired of that. I will feature that in the video, obviously. That's a big thing that's got to make it in there. Sorry, I'm checking something on my computer real quick. Trying to see. Oh, wait, here we go. Marshawn Lynch retired. Why is everybody saying Marshawn? Oh, you guys are saying to bring in. I wouldn't mind having Marshawn Lynch for a season if he can stay healthy. Matt Forte, I'm not sure he's the best fit in this scheme, but he's definitely a dynamic running back who can catch balls out of the backfield. I like both those guys quite a bit. What else do we got here? Somebody just asked about Joe Thomas. I think the Broncos might try to make a play for Joe Thomas. They were close to getting that deal done. There's new management in Cleveland, and I think Elway and Kubiak realize they need help on the offensive line. That's where I think you'll see the most moves made. Defensively, DeMarcus Ware said he wants to come back, so I think that would be huge if DeMarcus Ware plays another season. He's been a big leader in the locker room. I heard over the weekend that his role as a leader went kind of unnoticed by a lot of people, and he had a huge effect on leading the defense, influencing Von Miller, and really kind of guiding that defense and holding them accountable. So getting him back would be huge for keeping that, I think, cohesive unit together. And when he's healthy, DeMarcus Ware is almost as good as Von Miller out there. He's fast. He's got the experience, so he's a savvy veteran. And I think down the playoff stretch, he had a huge impact on crushing offensive lines because there wasn't an offensive line in the playoffs and Super Bowl that could contain DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller. I am not going to dab. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Yeah, improve the O-line. I think that's the big move. Ryan Clady wants to come back. He said he's willing to restructure his contract, and if he's willing to take a big restructure, that might be something that'll happen. Ty Sambrailo gets healthy. You can see him move to his natural position at right tackle. Malik's going to be tough to get back. Malik wants a lot of money, and he is willing to play anywhere for the highest bidder. And I'm not sure Denver's going to want to pay Malik Jackson what he wants. It will be shitty to see him go, but sometimes you got to save the money. And maybe the Broncos can bring in somebody else to fill in for him. I don't know which veteran D linemen are going to be out there right now. Let's see here. So many questions so fast. Thanks, Niners fans, for congratulating us. We don't need new running backs. C.J. Anderson's legit. We just need somebody to compliment him. Derek Wolfe signed. Maybe bring Tebow in as that second running back. We saw him at the media day, or the Radio Row at the Super Bowl, and he had like a giant crowd of people around him, which is crazy that, he hasn't played football for a while, but people still love themselves some Tim Tebow. They love some Tim Tebow. Somebody said put the chat in slow. I don't know how to do that. Yeah, I think Shane Ray will be better next season. He was good this season. Any rookie, I think, will improve in their second year. And, you got to understand playing a position like he's playing, that takes time to learn. And I thought he played pretty good this season. He was used, to come in and relieve DeMarcus Ware or Von Miller at times. And he had a big hit on Cam Newton in the Super Bowl, forcing Newton to throw a ball earlier than he wanted. So he made a play in the game. The nice thing about that Super Bowl is every defensive player on that team made plays. It was fun to watch. Chris Harris made plays. Talib made plays. TJ Ward made plays. DeMarcus Ware, Von Miller, Derek Wolfe, Malik Jackson, all the guys, Danny Trevathan, all the guys we've seen throughout the season make plays showed up. Darian Stewart was all over the place. It was great. McManus was there. Even Colquitt. He had to punt it like 100 fucking times in this game. So, he did a good job. The Broncos kept the Panthers pinned back deep. And that's something I said before the game. If the Broncos can win that field position battle, the Panthers are going to struggle because the last few blowout games they've had, they've been aided by turnovers and had great field position to score points. Denver did not give that to them. And the offense I guess the offense turned it over twice, but the defense was too good. Brady is not the GOAT. I will never agree with that statement. Yeah, Talib's good. Don't worry about Talib, man. I like the intensity he brings to the field, even when he gets a little crazy. His face mask penalty didn't really cost the Broncos anything, just a couple yards. Emmanuel Sanders had a big game. By far, he had the biggest game from any Denver receiver. It's kind of hard to say any of them had a big game when there was only, I think, 141 yards passing, but he showed up. Sorry, I'm trying to read still. Yeah, John Elway is GOAT. I also think Peyton Manning is too. I'd put them as the two greatest quarterbacks I've ever watched play. DT will have a better year next season. I think you got to understand all the stuff he went through this year. That affects you, affects your mind, and that stuff carries on to the field. Just like if you're dealing with shit in your personal life, it's going to affect whatever job you're doing. So cut Demarius some slack. Let's give him next season to bounce back. I think Demarius will have a big year next year. Eric Weddle, safety. I don't think we need another safety. I mean, David Bruton gets healthy. We've got TJ Ward, Darian Stewart, David Bruton. Omar Bolden can get healthy. But even the guys that came in, Shiloh and Josh Bush, those guys did a pretty good job. So I don't think the Broncos will make a move at safety. Just hope they all stay healthy. David Bruton, if we had David Bruton in the Super Bowl, that would have been huge. I mean, he had a really good season until he got hurt. We would have won by another touchdown if he played. That's all I'm going to say. Budweiser. Yeah, Peyton Manning plugged Budweiser. Said he didn't get paid for it, but I would plug Budweiser. Budweiser. If I get $1 for every time I say Budweiser, I'll just keep doing it. Every video I'd make, I would say it 100 times. So then I can make $100 a video. I can make a living off that. That's a pretty fair deal for Budweiser if you think about it. FYTB, yes, lots of those comments coming through. I don't think Von Miller will leave. He might get the franchise tag this season, but John Elway likes his guys. So he drafted Von Miller. He wants to keep Von Miller. Von Miller said he wants to stay in Denver. It's going to cost him, I believe. He said money talks. But I think the Broncos are ready to pay Von Miller. Maybe they get a deal worked out. Maybe they franchise tag him, but I think he'll be in Denver for the long haul. What do I think about Cam Newton? I like Cam Newton. I think he gets too much shit for stupid stuff. Even him leaving the press conference early, like, that doesn't bother me. I know people want to rip him for it, but if I just lost the Super Bowl, I don't want to talk to the fucking media with a bunch of dumb questions that they already know the answer to. Like, how'd it feel to lose that game? Fucking, it sucked. You know? I don't think players should be forced to talk after they lose the Super Bowl. I think it puts them in an unfair position. Yeah, there's a way to handle yourself and carry yourself, and he could have done a better job, but I really don't care. I'm not going to hold that against him. I think he's a great football player. I had a lot of fun. I watched the Panthers play a lot this season. I enjoyed watching them win. I like seeing teams that aren't dominant all the time get to the Super Bowl, so I like beating those teams too. Trade first pick for Joe Thomas. I don't know. That's a good call. Yeah, I mean, the Broncos will be picking last, so I would trade that first pick for Joe Thomas. They could get somebody else in the second round. You got Derek Wolfe in the second round. Maybe they trade Joe Thomas for Brock Osweiler. Think about that. Cleveland doesn't have a quarterback. Hopefully Johnny Manziel's done. That's the thing. Cam Newton got way more shit this week than Johnny Manziel, and we found out Johnny Manziel hit his girlfriend so hard that he ruptured her eardrum. That piece of shit shouldn't be allowed to play in the NFL, and that's where the attention should be. I don't care how often players celebrate or how they act in a press conference if they're angry. Johnny Manziel's an ass. Let's see here. What do we got? Yeah, back-to-back is what we're looking for. And if they keep most of this defense together, that's a big possibility. That's a huge possibility. I haven't even thought about the draft yet, so don't ask me about anybody they should draft because I don't watch college football. I'm not the person to ask that. Kirk Cousins. I don't know what his contract situation or his if he's going to be a free agent or what. I don't think Washington's going to let him go. Peyton should retire. We already talked about that. Capri Bibbs, at running back. I mean, we haven't seen enough from him to know whether he's a guy who can handle the load along with CJ, but they've kept him around, so there's definitely something they see in him that they like. I would guess it would depend on how he does in pass protection and those sort of things because we know he can run the ball. RG3 or Tebow? Well, right now RG3 because he's been on an NFL team this last season. But I wouldn't really take either of those quarterbacks right now. Beast Mode came to Denver? ? I don't know. Did he? We already said lose Hillman. Come on. I'm waiting for a good question. Dynasty. Well, we're 2 Super Bowls away from being a dynasty. It's a long season. Players got to stay healthy. The Broncos were fortunate. They kept most of their guys healthy. So, But that's it. I think I'm going to go. I got to keep editing. I just wanted to let everybody know I'm working on the review video. Don't expect it to be great because it probably will just be like all the rest of them. I should have went to the parade today and got some footage there. That would have been a good intro. But thanks for waiting, chatting. I'm going to try to do these things more often, and we can talk football